to be. Awesome, awesome.
Cool. Um,
Renee, Elizabeth, can I add one thing?
no.
No.
Yes. Good
You're
morning.
like,
Yes.
you were 2 minutes late. No, you cannot
Yeah,
speak.
you're out.
Diller put together an awesome, I showed it to you earlier this week, Elizabeth, this awesome survey to
Hmm.
survey our crew here to get ideas on content. Elizabeth and Renee, you guys put this in the video that you guys did recently. Um, is that what that is right there? Oh, it is? It's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
Google form? Okay, sorry. Okay, y'all carry on. Essentially, what we want to do is just regularly be tapping y'all's brains to see what content would be helpful to you, speakers you're hearing out there that you would love to hear more from, that you'd like for us to get here. So just know this conversation is always open. We always want to be gathering your ideas of what you would want more of in terms of content, specific speakers, et cetera, et cetera. So there you go. Renee just posted the Google form.
Great reminder. Yeah, if you guys will put that in there, we want to hear from you and we'll get the people in here because we know people or our people know people. So let's do it. Um, Speaking of people, I'm so excited about this morning because our guest is Fire. Ricky, are you on here? I think I see you. Where are you? Where's Ricky? Hold on.
Yep, I'm here.
Bright and early for you, my friend. Oh my gosh, he's coming in from California, y'all. So if we think this is early, we have no room for complaints. So I want to do a brief intro really quick, and then Ricky, you ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Um, Regional rallies, those are all over the country, and I was asked to speak in one at Carlsbad earlier this year. And there's people in your world that you feel like you've known them forever. Like, why haven't we run across each other? But then when you meet, you just instant connection. You feel like you've known them for years and years and years. That is Ricky for me. So Ricky was one of the speakers, and they put together a dinner the night before. And I had just flown in. I was literally just like, I knew some of the people. I wasn't real social yet to meet everybody. I was just like tired, right? It'd been one of those days. And I was at the end of one table, and Ricky was, I mean, there's probably 20, 25 people at this dinner, and Ricky's at the end of the other. And they went around the room and they were sharing some things. I was like, oh my gosh, I like Ricky. Like, he seems interesting, but he didn't really go into depth. And then the next day, we all had our presentations. And I was sitting there listening to Ricky, and the entire time, I was sitting there going, oh my gosh, thank God. Because y'all know most of the time I don't have slides. I usually get up on stage and I wing it. And I was so grateful that I had slides in that presentation because if I hadn't, people would have thought like I ripped off Ricky, like that I had nothing to prepare, that I just got up on stage and was like, oh, I'm just going to say whatever Ricky says because he was awesome. And not saying I'm awesome, but it moved the room and it was so impactful on what he was saying. And coming from a guy, like, you'll understand when you hear from Ricky, but like I was instantly bonded with Ricky and I kept apologizing. I didn't realize this. They told me later. I kept apologizing on stage going, okay, if Ricky's in here, I didn't steal this from you. And I had a slide to prove it. So Ricky and I have become fast friends. He is like, he's got an incredible bio. He is not a real estate agent. He comes from a place of gratitude and mindset in a way that like is so unlike anybody I've ever really heard. His energy is infectious. But I mean, he coaches and he trains companies like Costco and Home Depot, like big, big, big things, right? So he's in the real estate space a little bit more because he's speaking and he's pouring into everybody there. He works with agent image a lot just because of agent branding is so critical, and we talk about that here. But Ricky is one of those that I mean, even though it's what 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning for you, Ricky was like, yes, let me come in. I'd love to pour into your group. And so he's got a very impressive bio, but sometimes bios are just words. They don't mean much. When people show up and you see who they are, that's much more impressive. And Ricky's one of those people. So Ricky, my friend, thank you for being here. Welcome to the Friday Huddle. Welcome to the tribe. And the floor is yours.
All right. I thanks so much, Elizabeth. And yeah, so I'm just gonna set this precedent right here. I'm not here to be politically correct. I'm here to be real, honest, and just tell you guys what I think. Sometimes I might offend people, and I come with a full-on disclaimer. And the real estate stuff that I've been doing, the best thing value I have today is that I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not an active agent. I have nothing to do with the real estate space from a production standpoint. What I want people to do is stop thinking only real estate and open it up to entrepreneurship. Okay. And I'm going to prove to you, because I collect all of the real estate marketing. And when I'm in a live event, it's the same damn boring story. It's unemotional. It's the same thing told over and over again. And I literally take it on stage and then I throw it on the floor and I say, you guys might as well burn the money because it's not inspiring anybody. And it's the same story told by the same people over and over and over again. And the greatest part about that is in this arena, in the real estate arena, there's some of the biggest opportunity in your branding, your marketing, your sales to not look. There's more realtors out there than properties on the market. Put that in perspective and just feel like, okay, so how am I going to stand out? I promise you, it ain't going to be like doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. And it's not my opinion. I'm going to prove it to you. Before I get there, I want to talk about this, and I'm going to show you some slides. I'm not going to PowerPoint you to death, but there is, when we were little kids, it wasn't tell and show, it was show and tell. And I want to show you and give you examples of how you can implement this, number one, in your life for the people that you love, your kids, your family, whoever it is that you're living your life for outside of you, and then how you can apply that to your marketing today, not next week, not next month, today. Okay. And I'm going to share with you guys the lowest hanging fruit that you guys can do immediately that isn't tech. It's just simple ask, a simple ask. You want something, ask the universe for it. I promise you, you keep asking, it's going to keep coming around. Okay. So, and yes, Elizabeth, when she was on stage and we met after, and I appreciate Elizabeth's kind of sharing my bio. Yes, I've worked with Costco, Home Depot, Lululemon, Aflac, massive companies. My most proud moments are doing events with kids at small schools to teach lessons of gratitude, kindness, and asking for help. That's where I make my purpose in the world. And when Elizabeth was up there, I'll say this like I say it always. Women out there, number one, speak up. And two, do not let weak men or weak-minded men tell you what you can or cannot do, because the world is littered with that. And men, we're going to want to learn from more badass women, hands down. It's a different perspective. It's something that has helped my life, and that was brought to me by one of my biggest women mentors, Lisa Bilyeu. I don't know if you guys know her, but she's pretty awesome. I suggest to look her up. So without that, I'm going to screen share here. And I'm just going to get into a little bit of my PowerPoint here. I won't PowerPoint you to death, I promise you that. Okay. This is about mindset fitness for me, for life, and then we're going to do marketing. And again, I'm not here to be politically correct. I'm here to raise awareness to get you and us to where we want to go. So part of when we look at this, this is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known, bar none. I'll say it again. This is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known, and we don't work on it every day. And we just let other people program it, put it on autopilot, and it's like we're walking around, we're walking, talking miracles, we're 1 in 400 trillion to be born, yet we don't use the most powerful thing on the planet. That's what I want to change today. Now, we already know this. We know this through the placebo effect. I asked this in a live audience. Everybody knows what the placebo effect. Everybody knows what hypochondriacs are. You think you're sick all the time, and guess what? You get sick. We know this also through stress. That's the code word. What we really are is fearful, but we don't want to sound fearful because that sounds weak. So we just use a code word. We say, I'm just stressed. I'm just grinding. But what we really are is fearful. And we know this, how it feels in our second brain, our gut. And when our gut's jacked up, our mind's jacked up. And when our mind's jacked up, our body's jacked up. And when our body's jacked up, our energy's jacked up. And I'm not talking about physical energy. I'm talking about an energy that we carry, an aura that we carry. And people are going to want to be around people who have a positive, optimistic aura and energy in their life, in their business, and in their relationships. We also know through elderly couples. You think of elderly couples that are 90 years old, they've been together their whole life. One passes away, what happens to the next one? They pass away even though they've been in great health. What are they doing? They're thinking about disparity, anxiety, fear of loss, heartache, all those things. We already know these things. I'm going to walk through this just as a reference. I used to be about 260. So I use this reference because it's one that everybody can understand. When people want to lose weight and be healthy, what do? They got to work out and eat well. Not rocket science, right? If I don't work out and eat like crap, what am I going to do? I'm going to be fat and unhealthy. When I'm in a live audience, I want you to say this to yourself. Finish this sentence for me. Knowledge is, and then everybody says power. Well, if knowledge were power, we would be the most fit country in the world. Why are we the most obese country in the world? I think we have a happiness problem. We take more pills and we're sicker than we've ever been. Somebody explain that to me. In my opinion, the reason why is because we're not teaching this. We're not teaching this to kids. We're not teaching how powerful we are to us. We're letting other people and other things program us. We have 60 to 7,000 thoughts a day, and every single second of every single day, whether we like it or not, admit it or not, or know it or not, we're being programmed. It's just a matter of if we're partaking in the software building process, in the programming process. So if we actually looked into our feelings, our emotions, people will buy on emotion for logical reasons. People will buy on emotion for logical reasons. But the world inverses that. We go logical first and we dismiss the emotional. I want to reinverse it. I want to do it the way I think we were meant to feel as human beings. So, for example, in this weight loss example, if I say, I'm going to put myself in an inspired spirit, hyphenate that word, inspired, in spirit. If I want to lose weight for whatever reason, I want to set the bar of vitality for my family. I want to have more energy with my kids. I want to explain why to people who aren't feeling great that you can feel great, and it's our decision on what we put into our body. We don't catch colds, by the way. We eat colds, we think colds, and we drink colds. Okay. So if I put myself in that inspired spirit, there's a better chance that I'm going to take the action to get the result. Now, if I'm uninspired and I could go work out, I could go for a walk, I could go for a run, I'm going to get sore. I'm going to be tired. If I look and feel that way, there's no way I want to take the action, at least consistently. I'm not talking about willpower. I'm talking about emotional fitness and mental programming. There's a massive difference. People are like, I'm going to grind it out. I'm going to grind it out. Well, you're relying on willpower. Willpower is an exhaustible resource. It's like a light bulb. At some point, it's going to run out. Okay. So how we trigger those emotions is everything. If I have a frame of reference, I don't now, full disclosure, I'm not married and I don't have kids. I don't know what it's like to deal with kids. However, when I've worked with people that have kids, the first thing I say, and when we change the way that we view the world, our emotion and energies change and we deal with problems in a much more productive way internally. Okay. So think about who likes to work out. Think about who likes to work out if you like to do cardio or weights or yoga or whatever it is. Take that workout, go 40, 50, 60 minutes. You might be tired at the end of that, but after workout, you feel great. You feel awesome. You feel accomplished. Fill in the blank, fill in the adjective. Okay. Now, this is what happens. January 1st comes around and people say, Ricky, I'm going to run 10 miles a day. I'm going to eat lettuce and I'm going to meditate for 4 hours a day. That's people's new health plan every year. My business blows up on the health and wellness side every single year. So when that happens, we don't program here and it's 5 o'clock in the morning and it's dark and cold outside. It's nice and warm underneath our covers and we grind it out for a couple weeks. Week 2, week 3, week 4, when we get into February and now we're sore, we haven't prepared mentally, we're running on willpower, it's running out. When that in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and that alarm clock hits 500 and it goes, the reaction is always screw it, snooze. I'll do it later. Now, if I think of the after workout feeling, if I actually use my most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known, and I think of how I'm going to feel after I put myself in that inspired state, the action and the result become now a formality. I don't have to work on it as hard. But the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions right here, I can't see this. It's intangible. It's harder to measure. I don't see it. Here I can see. So we don't focus so much on the first part of the equation. We focus all our effort on the second part of the equation. Okay. This is transactional. This is where the champions live. Everything I share from this point out in my life, in every business that I have, in every speech that I give, in every collaboration that I have, this is the frame in which I see the world. I want to drive what I cannot see, so everything that you can see can get what I want. Okay. So everything that you can't see, we don't, because it's intangible, we don't work on this in schools. I know what a right triangle is, but I don't have a skill set on how to ask for help. Men, we think asking for help comes from weakness. It doesn't. I'm strong. I can do it. Asking for help comes from strength. It's one of the greatest skill sets on the planet. But why don't we talk about this in schools? Kindness, just general random acts of kindness. That's a skill set that will drive everything that you're seeing on the screen right now. Um, Offering help, that's a skill set. All these things I don't learn in school. And then we're actually taught that those are built from fear when they're not. They're built from strength. Okay. So everything that you cannot see will drive everything. This is applicable to your life, your relationships, your money, your finances, everything. If you handle up all of your problems, you're going to have, there are three categories: health problems, relationship problems, money problems. At some point, we're going to have all of them. How you look at the world and the lens in which you see the world in every part of your business, I want to help you guys with your life first and then apply it to your business. These guys have changed the trajectory of my life. I don't know if anybody knows them. They're Tom and Lisa Bilyeu, founded Quest Nutrition. If you've ever had a Quest bar, like an energy bar or protein bar, they're the ones that founded the company. They exited it for over $1 billion. Tom thought he was going to be this big business guy. And then when he started to get into it, he realized that all the business entrepreneurs, their mindset was jacked. So he became a mindset guy. And he always says, if you want to get your, if you want to get good at business, you want to get your freaking mind right. And the whole thing is also with relationships, money, and life. I'm going to give you guys 3 hacks or procedures or strategies or beliefs that you guys can use. If you like them, use them. If you don't, think of your own. But point being, how do I go from the crap that's happening in my life into gratitude? And how do I do it fast? How do I do it efficiently? So I'll start off with a little story. One of my biggest pet peeves used to be I'd fly from, I speak a lot, so I live in LA. I'd fly to Miami, I'd fly to Nashville, I'd fly to New York, I'd fly to Boston. I can sleep like a baby on the plane. So I'd have a aisle seat and I'd have my neck pillow and I would just be, the lights would go down on a red eye and I would just be out. I could sleep like a baby on the plane. The thing that drove me nuts, and I apologize to anybody that's got kids, but when that wailing, screaming baby goes off behind my ear, it drove me insane. It would be like, somebody shut that baby up, or I'm going to shut that baby up. Like, it freaked me out because I wouldn't sleep. And if I didn't sleep, I didn't have rest. If I didn't have rest, I wouldn't be on point. So that baby would freak me out. And I remember taking out my yellow pad, and I remember being emotional when I was doing this. And I remember my mentors teaching me, nobody can take away my happiness but me. So I put it to the test. And I literally remember writing down, and I would write down, how do I convert this from negativity to positivity? That's simple. And I wrote down, I am grateful, period, for the screaming baby on the plane, period, because it means that I can hear. And I thought of all the deaf people that could not hear. And here I am bitching and complaining. My arms work, my legs work, my eyes work. I'm on a plane. I have resources. And I'm complaining because some baby is screaming behind my ear. So I turned it around and I wrote a gratitude poem. And on the left side are all the things that people usually complain about. And I worked hard to use my marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably most powerful force the world has ever known to take that negativity into positivity. It's that simple. So today, if you want, write something down that drives you nuts and figure out how that's a productive thing in my life. You can download this at gratitudepoem.com. I can send it to Elizabeth and she can just give it to you guys. But all of that, it's a skill set. Everyone says, hey, Ricky's just a positive guy. That's just him. And my honest response is, no, asshole, I work on it. It's a skill set. I work on it every single day. I read this all the time. That's the challenge side. The easy side is I'm grateful for my mom, my dad, and Ceci, that's my sister, because they show me a great way to live and to love. The world uses gratitude when it's easy. That's like trying to get in shape and running downhill. You know when they use it? Thanksgiving. You know why Thanksgiving is my least favorite holiday? Is because I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. And then it stops the next day. I got to think of an attitude of gratitude for Thanksgiving because it happens so much. And then everyone's like, I'm grateful for this. But then the day after Thanksgiving, it stops. Well, to me, every day is Thanksgiving. We're walking, talking miracles. 1 in 400 trillion to be born. Just give that some perspective as we go through it. So this hack is take whatever pisses you off and find out. If you can't find out, and it can be big or small. If you can't find out, I'll work with you to find it out. And when we do, it's an emotional experience that you won't forget. It changed my life, but the simplicity of it is so often overlooked. Process number 2, strategy number 2. When I'm in a live audience, I always say, raise your hand if you ever help someone. Raise your hand if someone's ever helped you. Okay. We all have a smartphone, Android or iPhone. I ask people to make an I Am Great album. Anytime somebody says something nice about you, and the scale is irrelevant, the universe does not reward scale. It rewards consistency. But we think in these grand terms of scale. So lower the bar to create the consistency. If you want to go run 5 miles, start today by picking out a pair of shoes or putting your running shoes on. I'm not even joking. The scale is irrelevant. Start small. So if anybody says anything nice about you, it can be as big as you saved my life, and it can be as small as thanks for the 5-minute call today. It does not matter on scale. What I want people to do is I want you to screenshot the email, text message, whatever it is, and I want you to start an I Am Great album. Start an album on your phone, title it I Am Great. It's going to feel weird because we're not so good at doing this. And when we do this, we try to overdo it. Start an album, I Am Great. Put screenshots in there of how people have said, hey, job well done, this or that. When your crap storm comes, now I have something tangible to read. Neurochemically, now I have a different experience because I can remember that I have greatness in me too. I might be going through a crap storm. I might feel like crap, but I've done good things in my life. People have appreciated me at some point in my life. So I can just read it and then continue with my day. Neurochemically, because I cannot be grateful and fearful at the same time. I cannot be. I choose, my brain will choose unless I take over the programming. So this little thing, this little hack has helped me in my life so many times when my crap storm comes. Here's an example. This is like from 10 years ago, but I still remember it. He was divorced. He had a daughter that wanted to go to Disney. He only made about 40, 50 grand in a year. We worked on his prosperity plan. At the time, I was with Sears Home Improvements selling kitchens. And he wrote me this text. He said, Ricky, I wanted to share something with you, bro. Took my daughter and niece on that Disney cruise. Just wanted to thank you for helping me with my goals and all your support. I wouldn't have been able to do so if you yourself wouldn't have worked as hard as you did to give me and us an opportunity to work with you. I appreciate you, Rick. Thanks again, brother. To this day, I still feel the tear ducts in the back of my eyes welling up when I read that. And I got albums of this. And it can be something like this. It can be like, hey, I appreciate the time today. It doesn't matter on scale. But when I go through my crap storm, I just have a bigger tool belt to convert energy from negative to positive. It's that simple. Perspective, we are meaning assigning machines. So this is strategy number 3. Gratitude is 1. I Am Great albums 2. If anybody's read this, one of the most powerful books you can ever read. This is something that Viktor Frankl, he was in Auschwitz. He was in a death camp. I believe it was his mother, his father, wife burned alive. The most inhumane, unfathomable thing to ever happen in human history. Wife, father, wife. Father, mother. He wrote a book in Auschwitz. He started the book in Auschwitz, and he said, the ability to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. He didn't say, I have the ability to choose one's own attitude when it's all rainbows and ice cream outside. He said, in any set of circumstances. So my strategy with this, when I read that book, I read it cover to cover many times. And the way that I use that in my life is when I go through a crap storm, I ask myself one question. And this, what I'm about to share with you now, will stop your complaining in its tracks. Because it's a slippery slope, man. We start going, and then guess what? Other people start joining in, and then it feeds in it and feeds on it and feeds on it. And next thing you know, we're sick. Our country is sick, frustrated, and pissed off. This ain't any political stuff. I don't care where you fall in politics, but I will tell you this. The greatest pandemic ever known is negativity. It's killed more dreams and goals than any virus ever has. So our body will shut down when that comes down. If sickness were on the outside and we could actually see what's going on, when we get a blood test and we see all the candida and yeast in our blood and how it's wreaking havoc in our gut and how that affects our brain fog and all this stuff. If sickness were on the outside, nobody would be sick because it would be terrifying. So how do we stop it when it happens? Here's one thing I use. I think of Viktor Frankl. I ask myself this one question. Is what I'm going through, Ricky, a Viktor Frankl problem? I stop complaining immediately. It's just a frame of reference to give myself some damn perspective of how just menial the challenges are that I'm going through. They may seem big because that's the world around me programming it. But if I take part in the programming, I take control back over my life, my business, my finances, and my community. And it leads me to Dyer. I love this quote. I use this quote. I don't just post the quote on social media. So I always ask, if you like something, go ahead and share it, but live by it first before you start sharing it. And change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And then I selfishly and shamelessly brand myself in front of those two thought leaders, and I call gratitude the greatest antioxidant on the planet. I think that is the greatest thing on the planet to be able to do at any time. It's a skill set. Make no mistake about it. It is a skill set to use. So when your life, in your business, in your relationships, in your finances, those are 3 little brain strategies to convert energy fast. And I probably got about 100 of them. I want to pause there. So that's the kind of first part of the framing. I use these things every day in my life. They have changed my life with my relationships, my finances, my businesses, and all those types of things. In your guys' arena, what I'm going to share with you now is how to take what I just shared with you and apply it to the marketing so it's not the same boring, unemotional, facts and figures marketing that I see every single day. I'm also going to share with you a little about Agent Image. Full disclosure, I am not an employee of Agent Image. Okay, I get nothing from them. They helped my life. They built me a website. That website made me a lot of money. That money allowed me to do events with schools when schools didn't have the money. And so now I do events with schools teaching gratitude, kindness, asking for help from kindergarten to 8th grade. I have an emotional tie to Agent Image because they help my quality of life and the purpose in my life and my children's book. Okay. Not an employee. Okay. The things I'm about to share with you, use Agent Image for your website or marketing, or use anybody else. I don't care. But it's the strategies that I'm going to share with you that are important to me. Okay. All right. So here's what everybody does in real estate. When I go to an entrepreneur conference and I speak at an entrepreneur conference, I'm just going to say this. It's wide open in real estate. Okay. Real estate agents, and I don't mean to offend anybody, real estate agents and loan officers, there's loan officers out there, great hustlers and networkers. I've learned so much from real estate agents, unbelievable hustlers and networkers, communicators. A lot of times, not the best operators and entrepreneurs. Okay. There is wide open opportunity, and it is now going to become my mission to help this industry, or at least share what I think could help this industry. Here's what everybody does. Here's my product or service. Here's my differentiation value proposition. Buy my product or service because I've sold X, Y, and Z. You can look at every single one of these, and that is the exact go-to-market value proposition strategy out there. So I'm going to give you guys a few things in your business. Again, use Agent Image or don't use Agent Image. Don't matter to me. If you do want to, I got a link because of Elizabeth. If you did want to book a call or whatever, you can get a pretty significant discount. That aside, here's a couple of hacks. Any website that you go to, you have a hero image or a video. You scroll down a half a second and you see this massive bio about the agent. Nobody cares. They don't care. I promise you they don't care. They don't care what you do. They don't care what I do. They care why we do what we do. Okay? It's not me, that's Simon Sinek. And that little, you want something good? Go to Golden Circle, research Golden Circle by Simon Sinek, change my entrepreneurial life. They don't care what we do. So why in the split second that we scroll down do we have this massive bio that nobody's ever going to read? It's death by text, boring ass testimonial bios. Okay? Bios at the bottom. Okay. And I'll show you an example of my site where the bio's at the bottom and it's one line here, one line there, one line there. The second thing, facts tell, stories sell. Everybody gets what I call death by text, boring, block, unemotional text testimonials. No one's reading them. I can almost promise you. Get video testimonials. Let other people sell you so it's not always you selling you. Just those two things on your, I don't care if it's a website, I don't care if it's an age image website, I don't care if it's an online presence, whatever it is. Those two things, just look at everybody's sites. They all look the same. Okay. The marketing looks the same. So I'm going to share some stuff on how you can do that. But just those two things right there, I got about freaking 15 to 20 of these. And with Age and Image, I am helping people because there's just there's too much of an opportunity not to do these things, in my opinion. But none of it matters without the first part that I shared. Okay. Everything that I'm sharing with you, the thoughts and the emotions, when we put that into the marketing, into our relationships, and we lead from authenticity and we're genuine about it, and we find out we humanize you. I don't care what you sold. I care what you're doing with the community. Then I'll ask you what you sold. So the product, the way that I told you is a tell and attack model. They just puke on you. You're puking on everybody. Nobody cares. What I want to inverse is a share and attract model. Share what you're doing in the community. Share who you are. Share why you do what you do. Share why you care. Share why people care about you. And get them to ask. It's share and attract, not tell and attack. That's where the opportunity is. Okay. So got a couple more slides just to, I want to kind of like, there's a couple things I'm going to share with you I've just done in my own business. And I love this quote. I went to the university that Maya taught at. I never took a class with her. She was retired by the time I got there, but she said, people will forget what you said, people forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. We can apply that into our businesses, and the ones that do win. It's that simple. Especially in today's day and age, visibility beats ability. If you're out there sharing from authenticity and being genuine, you might be a worser agent. I promise you, if you do it right, you'll get more business. Okay. Going to give you an example. If anybody knows this guy's Troy Palmquist. I've known him for a little bit now. He is a contributing author, Inman News, Housing Wire, Real Trends. He's speaking at Inman in San Diego coming up. If anybody's there, he's going to be there. He's done tech reviews for Real Trends, business development. I don't know real estate too much, but I've heard that's a big time brokerage. He's built 2 brokerages. He's exited the address and he's sold over $2 billion. I will do anything for Troy, and I often seek Troy's advice in life, in business, and in real estate. And it has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm showing you here. Nothing. I have made some pretty powerful intros to Troy. My personal team has helped him in his business, and I've asked people to do it not for free. I think when people pay, they pay attention. So I always say there's got to be some skin in the game, but I've offered a lot of help and I've asked for a lot of help from Troy. It has absolutely nothing to do with what you see here. What it does have to do with is this. His wife, Carrie, had 3 miscarriages before his son, Rhett, was born. That's his little boy. Carrie had 12 blood transfusions and she was in the ICU for 26 hours. She literally almost died. His son fell out of that 2-story window and landed on the concrete. The screen popped through. Troy saw this happen, landed on the concrete. He lived, and at 2.5 years old, Red fell out that 2-story window, landed on the concrete, and lived. That's me and Rhett with my children's book, Grateful Grace. Troy had 2-stage cancer, and at the same time, his door brokerage lost $1 million, and at that time, his dad passed away. This is when a 3 or 4 year stretch. That's his wife, his kid, and myself. I saw something on Troy's website. That's why I started talking to him. This is what I saw. It said broken crayon, still color. I said, hey man, what's that about? And I learned all this about Troy. What you see on the screen right now is why I want to work with Troy, ask Troy's help, give Troy help, and collaborate with him. I want Troy in my life in some way, shape, or form. I want to be in his life. And it has nothing to do with all the real estate experience. It has everything to do with how he views the world, and that broken crayon, still color. So what do? We support that. This is our CT. This is a CTO of Agent Image and his daughter. That's another person, the VIP person at Agent Image. That's me and the founder at Agent Image. And Troy got a website for them, so that's why all the pictures there. But we rallied around him because his belief, not because of what he sold, which was very impressive, but it's not why we rally around the guy. It's not why we want to be around the guy. It's not why we want to do business with the guy. It's because broken crayon, still color. What a powerful freaking message. And now that's part of my life. That's why I work with Troy. Share and attract, don't tell and attack. So my question is, in your guys' community, what are you doing? What are the cool things in your community? How are you giving back to the community? Who do you know in the community? Put that on your online image, whether it be a website or whatever it might be. Give you another story. What we lack is heart moments in the world. We are emotional beings. We want emotional beings. And it's both. It's male energy and female energy. You guys can probably tell. I'm a little bit of alpha. Get a little bit excited, and I'm kind of in your face a little bit. Gosh, you should see me live. Sometimes I scare some people. But I needed the feminine energy to balance me out, because if my motor was always going, and sometimes I think the feminine energy needs a little bit more assertiveness. That's my opinion. But it's both. It's not one or the other. But the world and society is about 80 to 90% on the masculine side. That's why, men, I'm saying we're going to want to learn from more badass women. It's both. So when we look at heart moments, I'm going to tell you a story. This is little Carolina. She plays the electric violin on 3rd Street in Santa Monica. I've known her since she was 9 years old. I got her on the Kelly Clarkson show. I've basically watched this little girl grow up, and I saw her and I started interviewing her. To this day, she's given me the best definition of goal setting that I've ever heard. Carolina, in my opinion, is everything that's right with the world. And I believe Carolina is going to need strong women mentors outside of her mother. Okay. So in Carolina, she had this Christmas card that she made for Lindsey Sterling. Lindsey Sterling is a big YouTuber. She plays the electric violin. Carolina's been watching her since she was 6 years old. She went to a Lindsey Sterling concert. She made her Christmas card, and then they didn't have any money. They're from the Ukraine. They didn't speak any English. She runs up to the security guard after the concert and then gives it to the security guard. And the security guard says, I can't take it. Crushes this little girl's heart. Her mother tells me this story. I said, I'm going to teach your daughter the power of emotional relationship capital. The people that you want to see win, when Elizabeth says we've known each other for a long time, we want to see each other win. We're doing some things. We want to put some events together. I'm very excited about it. But emotional relationship capital from people that you align with and want to see win and want to win for the other person. That's one of Carolina is one of those people for me. So I thought it would take 3 months. It took me 3 years. The person I remember from, if you remember Tom and Lisa Bilyeu, the person that booked for Tom and Lisa Bilyeu also booked for Kelly Clarkson. I had a relationship with them, and I shared this story of this little girl.
Someone here, because we heard about your cards. We have someone here that does know Lindsay that can get the card to her. So you might be familiar with her. She also plays violin, and she's a YouTube sensation. She also has 5 hit albums. She is what we call a whole lot of woman. I love your face right now. You're like, what? I'm just going to say it. It's Lindsay Sterling.
So they met on Kelly Clarkson, and they did a duet together.
Performing Lindsay Sterling's hit song, Guardian. Here's Lindsay Sterling and Carolina Prosenko.
And then after that, she gave her the card. So I had no monetary ROI from that. I had a hell of an energetic ROI, spiritual ROI, and emotional ROI. This is Tom. He's got a little language on this, but it's not me, it's Tom. Here's what I'm giving you an example. For the next 60 seconds, I just want you to hear what Tom says.
Ricky's story is fucking hilarious. Like, you guys have, the more you get to know him and how he weaseled his way into my life, is absolutely extraordinary. I mean, really fucking breathtaking and super inspiring to me, and reminds me of like how far that skill set can be taken about adding value to somebody else to the point where they're like, yo, I need to do something for you now.
All right, what is up, everybody? Lisa and I are going to be joining Ricky, none other than Ricky, to talk about how to get the most out of your potential, to talk about how to toughen the fuck up, buttercup, and make the most out of your life. I'm excited to do this. Ricky is an amazing human being. I cannot tell you how much value he's already added to my life. He is so impressive, and I hope you guys have had a chance to meet him in person because he is amazing. And I am super excited to be doing something with his community. So do not delay. Join my wife, Lisa, and I with Ricky to talk about getting the most out of your potential. I'll see you guys there.
So I don't play that to impress anybody. I say to press upon people. Tom charges $70,000 to $100,000 to speak. He's done 2 events for me for free. That little testimonial has made me money. He's selling me, not me selling me. That's the power of video testimonials and the power of emotional relationship capital. You know what he said sneak his way into my life? All I did was buy his team pizza. I love Costco pizza. Judge me when you're perfect. All I did was buy him pizza. I took care of his team. I took care of the people that around him because he allowed me to go to his house and watch Impact Theory. Okay. So video testimonials, I got another 10 minutes. I'm just going to share. So this is my website. Okay. Now my site's a custom site, but I always say show and tell, don't tell and show. So this is what I do. I'm on stage. I would strongly suggest when you guys get a website or online image or something, stop putting up sold, sold, sold. Put up what you do, meeting with clients, showing homes in the community, stuff like that. And when you scroll down, here are my video testimonials. They designed this in a way that I never thought of, but they asked if I had any, and I had a ton. And this little carousel right here, I cannot explain. Money aside, yes, it's made me a bunch of money, but the relationships it's got because other people are selling me. Now, you might not know any of these people, but in my arena, there are really big names. Some are big, some are smaller. But bottom line is it's other people selling Ricky. It ain't me selling me. So notice there's not this huge bio. You scroll down, there's 3 lines. If they want more, they can read more, but make it quick. And that's the biggest thing is like, I'm not a big bio guy. If I get text testimonials, I'm going to make it really fast. Make it 1 line, make it 2 lines, and then tell a story. So that's my mom. My mom used to watch me play baseball. Now she watches me speak. And everybody asked me about that picture. Share and attract, don't tell and attack. So that's a picture of my mom and my sister at the events. And then here's what I do. I work with kids, but then I'm showing people, not telling. That's a kids event. Those are some of the best kid testimonials that I've ever gotten. Carolina on stage. The other one's Angelique. So anyway, this is like if and when you guys want to get a site with Agent Image or anybody else, think of your site as like a casino. Keep people in the casino. When you walk into a casino, the rugs, the marketing, the freaking the music, the everything's meant to keep you there to spend more money. A website should be the same way, and we measure this through the Google Analytics and the bounce rate. When people go, do they stay? The longer they stay on your site, and as long as the data capture is proper, please, I'm begging you, do not have a data capture that says join my mailing list or join my VIP mailing list. I'm begging people to stop that. Stop it. You're asking for something without giving anything. Give them a nice put together PDF that says top 3 reasons why to invest in this area. Give it to them for free. The conversion rates will go up the roof. And when we gamify the site or whatever it is you do, the Google Analytics will show number 1, how many citations are there, how many times people are staying, what is the bounce rate, how long people are staying on the site, and the longer they stay, and if the data capture is proper, then bam, now your list is your paycheck. Hands down for real estate. Your list is your paycheck. And then it comes down to 3 C's: consistent communication with the community. How many times I ask an agent, what CRM do you use? And they don't use one. It is mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. You're trying to provide value. You want to do it consistently. And I don't have a CRM company, so I'm just saying use something. And you get a site to keep everything as a hub. Use Agent Image, use anybody else. I don't care. Just use these things, and I'm begging people to stop the boring data capture and the tell and attack model. That's where the opportunity is. And then I'll end it with this. This is my favorite quote. It's my favorite quote on accountability by Dr. Seuss. You have brains in your head, you got feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, you know what you know, and you are the one who decides where you go. I love that. Um, so that's kind of that's what I wanted to share. I got about 6 minutes or so if there's any questions or stuff like that. But those are the biggest things that I see in your. Oh, I'll drop this too. Elizabeth, they gave this group a discount code. I'm not. If you want to talk to anybody, use that. Yeah, there. Use that link.
Awesome.
There's a
I'm putting
woman.
all of this, guys. I'm putting this all in the live stream, so you can find all the links that are going on in the chat. They'll be housed in the live stream in Workplace.
There's a woman, Kirby. If people even think about getting a quote from Agent Image, ask for Kirby. She was at the event that I met Elizabeth with, and she's been on some big stages now. I'm helping her with her kind of like her speaking and stuff like that. But she's not afraid to speak up, and that's what I would suggest a lot of the women do. When I go to an event, it's 98% men, and more so men that look exactly like I do. There's a massive opportunity to help the world and humanity when women start sharing their stories and what they're going through. But thank you for your time. I got some time if any questions or anything.
Okay, y'all see why I love Ricky, and I wanted Ricky to meet my people and my people meet Ricky and all the things. What do you have for Ricky while he's still on? I would say I'll take a screenshot and tag him on Instagram. Why don't we do, like we always talk about this with our guests, right? Take a screenshot, do a story, talk about how this call impacted you, how Ricky's message impacted you. Just a great thank you for Ricky for sure. Sean, you have your hands up.
Yeah, last year, 2024 was not a good year for me. I did a lot of what came to me in that year was what Ricky talked about, being grateful, all of those things. And this was my best year up to May. And I just got back from Maui, so I was glad to be on this call. We got in yesterday. I'm still jet lagged, but I'm up, I'm walking around. But Ricky, you know what? I got to say this came, at the most perfect time for me. I've hired a company to build my website. I took meetings at 4:30 in the morning Maui time to try to get this going, but we're going to have a call to go over the website and see what they've produced. So now I get to preemptive strike them and say, hey, this is what I want. If you're not producing this, then maybe I need to go somewhere else. So I really appreciate your time. If you're going to be at EXPCon and my, I'll seek you out.
Nice. Actually, yeah. I'm going to ask for help.
Thank
So
you.
I talked to Leo and Wendy, and I spoke at EXPCon on the smaller stage. I'm going to ask for everybody's help right now. Blow Leo up and be like, you got to get Ricky on the main stage. Can you guys help me with that?
Yeah.
Will
And
do.
guys,
Hey,
in the tribe, I actually posted the call for speakers actually earlier last week, right? So there's a link in the tribe group in our workplace chat, call for speakers. I'm gonna put Ricky's name in there too, but let's all do that. That'd be really cool.
I'm going to record this and send this to Leo and Wendy. So Leo and Wendy, we're here with Elizabeth's group. Hey, do you guys want me to go to, you can unmute and just say, hey, do you guys want me to speak at EXPCon this year?
Put Ricky on the main stage.
Ricky
Ricky
on
needs to be
stage.
on that stage.
Ricky.
Ricky.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, wait. I love EXP.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
All right, Ricky.
I got one more thing to say. I have apology to Renee Funk. I thought I knew how to post on Instagram. Apparently, I don't, and I owe her a post that will happen this week.
Oh, Sean, you're amazing.
Love it, love it, love it. Brian Copeland, good morning. Grizzly Adams over there.
Good morning. Good morning. I know. So Ricky, for those of us that have the boring, normal social pages and websites and all that, what is a simple piece of advice for us to start taking action in the direction of the storytelling that you're talking about? Would it be reach out to old clients and be like, hey, can I get a video testimonial? Would it be to meet up with them at their house and do something? What is something that we can do to start moving in the direction you taught this morning? which I think is awesome.
Phenomenal question, Elizabeth. I have a whole training on this because a lot of people ask. Guys, there's energy in the ask. There's energy in the ask when you ask for this because people are afraid to do that. Maybe it was a year old, 2 years old. Here's what happens. Number one, just ask. And then two, if they help you or give you one, great. If they don't worry about it and keep on. It's okay if they don't. Asking for help is a skill set. We got to get used to it. If people want to help, awesome. If they don't want to help, that's okay too. Now, Brian, the number one thing that you want to do when you ask is just call, say you appreciate their business, and just say, I'd like to ask for your help. I'm doing some different things in my business. It would mean a lot to me if you could just take a super quick 10 to 20 second testimonial. It can be selfie style. Just tell them you're asking for their help. Appreciate and tell them you're asking for their help. It's an emotional thing. We are human beings. We absolutely want to help people, whether we know it or not, like it or not. What you don't want to do is say, I know you're busy, but can you do this for me? That's what you don't want to do. That's a weak energy ask. A positive, strong energy ask is, thank you so much for your business. I wanted to call and I just wanted to ask for your help. Do you have a quick minute? I'm doing some things in my business. Would you mind giving me a quick 10 to 20 second video testimonial to be able to help me out in my business? I'm looking to take it to the next level. If they say yes, great. If they say no, no worries. Go to the next. The second thing is, it doesn't have to be super produced. User generated content is the best relayed content and the most watched content. So if you look at mine, a lot of mine are just user generated. There's like that one of Tom is a selfie video. Most of mine are just iPhone stuff. I would almost suggest that over super produced, mic'd up, all that kind of stuff. Does that help, Brian?
Yeah, I think those are great action items that everybody on this call can start with right after we get off. I mean, those are easy.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Thank
And
you.
if you guys are looking to share on Instagram, just ask yourself this one question, like, what am I passionate about? Just share it. People are going to judge you. So what? You know what I don't want to do is be 90 and say I should have done this or that. That's scary to me.
Love that.
Hey,
Love,
what's
love,
up,
love.
Renee?
Renee Funk.
Ricky, oh my goodness.
Hey.
This is so good. I'm so grateful you're in our world, and thank you for championing the message that more females need to stand up with confidence and share their voice. And men, this is not a knock to you all. It's just a reality. A lot of females hide behind this lack of confidence to stand up. And when we hear a leader like Ricky share and champion that we can stand up and share, it's a big deal. So I want to send you a huge thank you. The ask is, will you please come back? That's the ask. That's all I got.
Tell me when. Tell me when. You guys know, like Renee and I met with Elizabeth on a Zoom. We're going to be doing some really cool event stuff that I'm amped about. A huge opportunity in real estate events, in my opinion. Again, why tell Leo to have me on the main stage? But Renee, yes, absolutely. Tell me when, and I can do something. I would say ask your community what they want help with specifically. Like there's a limited 30-minute training on how to ask for those video testimonials because they're so powerful. Or we can go into more website design and development, all that kind of whatever you guys want. Whatever you guys want.
You're amazing. Thank you for being here and pouring into us.
Yeah, yeah,
We're pulling you in. We love that you're in. We have great people in our world for sure. Brittany, good morning.
What's up, Brittany?
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Okay, I'm loving this. I literally text Elizabeth, what was it, 30 seconds into you talking? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm literally going through this the past 2 weeks on how I can come to the community, show everybody something different about me, because I am in that very much mode of, hey, here's this and this, I guess just hit me up if you need something. My question for you, it's very specific, so I apologize for anybody who's listening right now, but I am not Renee Funk when it comes to Disney, but Disney has changed my life and my babies, okay? People come to me out here in Austin nonstop, like, hey, can you help me plan my trip? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And I've met so many clients through this that Disney for us it's a passion. It's helped so many children that I know come to who they are, be confident. And there's just so much behind it that I've really considered putting this on my website and just bringing something different about me. What are your thoughts on that? In all honesty, and I know I'm going to look like a dork, and I don't care, but it's a passion thing for me.
1,000, not only would I put it on it, I would put a data capture attached to that that pops up with some experiences. I would put testimonials from kids that have grown up. I would put it right at the top of the page. I would make it about that.
Okay.
That's what's going to align people because everybody else is doing the other crap. In fact, if anybody does any of the postcard stuff, I would do that. Like you're going to attract, like share and attract. You're going to attract the people there and they'll ask you about the business. All they got to do if the site is engaging and it's dynamic and it comes alive. Remember the casino analogy. It's
Yes.
one, you're going to look you're going to look different than everybody else out there.
Mm-hmm.
If that's at the top, they're going to be engaged. It keeps people on the site. Then when they scroll down, oh my gosh, she does real estate. Oh my gosh, this and that. It's the definition of share and attract, not tell and attack. 1,000%. You don't need different sites for different things. Make it in what hub so it humanizes Brittany. Let people know they're going to buy from Brittany. And I did one at Egypt Sherrod. She's a big agent in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
One of her clients or one of her reps did this. And then she got a person that bought from her because of some mindset thing that she posted on her site. It was just that. And then that person led to 2 referrals. It had nothing to do with real estate. So
Okay.
100% do that.
Thank you so much. That I just needed that kind of cherry on top to get my booty out there and actually do it. So
100%.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And I would say Kirby has 2 kids, the agent image rep that I mentioned. She was at the
Yes.
event. She has 2 kids. She even has a site as herself. And in her site with her kids, I brought her kids to do gymnastics with a bunch of like famous TikTok people. And now she's putting that on her site and it's gotten insane engagement from the Google Analytics. It's crazy. So 1,000% yes.
Because that's where my brain is everyone's always like, what's your niche? And I have never had one. Like I don't sit there and say I'm luxury or I'm first time home buyer, I'm relocation. It's literally a personality. That's my niche. It's who I want to be around and who I want my energy with.
100%. When you market to everybody, you market to nobody. You absolutely want a niche.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That's a good saying. Say that again, Ricky.
Yeah, when you market to everybody, you market to nobody.
Yeah.
So find that niche. We did a guy. You know him, Elizabeth. I think maybe Ray and Gary. They do probate. They were at the event. I think they're in EXP, but he specializes in probate, like a very specific niche. Um, Super powerful, like kind of niche to go into because like it's never going to go away. Like people are
Yeah.
always going to pass away. But I would say find that niche because when it's so broad, well, I do this for everybody. It was like, well, you kind of do it to nobody, and then it's just shotgun approach versus a sniper approach.
I love it, love it, love it. Jessica Licona.
What's up, Jessica?
Okay, we don't hear you, but you're not
I
muted.
know, because I'm
Oh, there
trying to
you
get my words.
Oh, okay.
So I am super embarrassed because I hate showing emotion. I'm from a Latin family where it's like, hey, here's a chancla, you know what I mean, Ricky? And I'm losing it over here. It's my favorite book. I took this. If I see another John Maxwell, I'm gonna puke. Yesterday they had a call and I couldn't get on it. I couldn't see another man with another library behind him, a sweater. I'm losing it. It's not because of business. My business could go up or go down. I know it's all going to be here. It's because I'm trying to raise children and I don't know how to do it with grace. And I thank you for coming, not from a real estate background, Elizabeth and Stacy and Renee. Thank you for bringing someone who isn't real estate. All I can say, Ricky, is I appreciated it. I hope you keep working with kids because they're the next generation and I'm feeling like I'm failing my kids. And there's a lady that was at our former brokerage that has a daughter in her 20s who didn't want to go to college. She wanted to do something bigger. And she's been talking to 10 to 60-year-olds about coaching. And she said, why are we waiting until we're adults to go and coach and you know what I mean, get us back on the path? Why aren't we starting earlier? So today I came in pretty pissed. You can tell I haven't even washed my hair. I just said I'm gonna listen in, and it's probably gonna suck, and I'm probably gonna, mute it, and I'm gonna be texting. Anyway, I could go on and on. I'm losing it. And I'm losing it for all the reasons that you probably didn't mean to come on for. So thank you.
No, that Jessica, thank thank you. I'm gonna pull something up on my YouTube right now, and I'm gonna drop it in the chat. I want your kids to watch this today. So this little, where is it? Here it is. Hold on, hold please.
How are you?
Let me go. I got a couple screens here. Give them this to watch. That's one of our highlight reels at the event that we do with kids. Um, if they watch that and they want the whole thing, I can send you the whole like actual program. It was like a 2 hour. This is interesting, and I know we're going over. I'll stay as long as this is powerful. So this is exactly what I mean, women. Speak up, like speak up. I don't know about anybody else, but like that's getting me emotional, and it's like it reminds me of like how powerful emotional relationship capital can be, because I went up to Elizabeth, Elizabeth went up to me, and look what happens. I'll share this as well. When we did this event with kids, they told me, Ricky, we can do 20 minutes. I said, I need at least 40. They're like, you'll never keep their attention. We ended up doing 2 hours and 15 minutes, and all the parents were there. And there's something, if I could ask for help in my life, it's to get in front of schools and do this type of thing. For anybody that can help make me happen, the marketing piece of that is we deliver a boatload of value to the community, parents, children, moms, dads, and I promise you, they will want to do business with you when I'm in front of their kids, treating them with giving a life value. So that's something there. The second thing, Jessica, I'm not married and I don't have kids. That's the first thing I say when people kind of confide in me, because this does happen. I'm going to share this though. A lot of people with kids and that are married call me up. um, you're not alone. Everybody feels like that.
By the way, I was never going to be married and have kids because of this. Like, I don't know how to do it. It's the hardest thing I've done. So I actually listened up a bit because you didn't come with, well, I've got, Brian Buffini, love him if you've ever watched it. He's a beautiful father. But it's like, yeah, you got this down. I know you got your trials and tribulations, but the fact that you didn't do it, in many ways, I don't know. I'll just do anything for my kids. They bring me to my knees.
And I would say just that right there, and you're absolutely like, I have no idea. I can't identify with that, so I don't pretend like I can.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about this, but I do know from people coming to me all the time, everybody, if you're an aspiring person, you're always on some level going to feel behind or like you're not doing a good job. It's because you care. So just what you just said is really powerful. I'll do anything for my kids, and I would just remind yourself of that and give yourself some grace. Give them that watch. I'll send you my children's book. And here's the other thing: have them look up the quokka. I bet your kids will smile when they look up the quokka. It's Quokka. It's what my children's book is based on. It's the happiest animal on the planet, and when kids look at it, they can't help but smile. So you can tell them you listen to some loud dude today that told you to watch this video and look at the quokka.
So
But
Ricky, I just want to jump in here really quick. Russ, I know your hand's up. I have known Jessica a long time, like a long time. She was one of the first people I met when I was moved to Texas. And I'll play like she's not here, but she's got one of the toughest exteriors that you will meet. She's very always put together, very intimidating to most people until you get to know her. I've never seen her like this. And I know she struggles with the kids. And I remember when she's like, I'm never having kids. And then she's like, oh, I'm having a kid. And like, I mean, we're like, oh my gosh, Jessica's having kids. But she's an amazing mother. And I tell her this all the time that like she's super, super hard on herself. But if you don't really know Jess, and I mean, she's intimidating. She's a boss babe. She's incredible. So Jess, I adore you, my friend. I have never seen emotion like this. And I know that you just kind of check the box to show up to this stuff. And I'm so glad you're here. And I'm glad that Ricky spoke to you in such a way, but we adore you. So,
what's
and you're normal. We're all the same way. We're all a hot mess when it comes to, we're screwing up all of our kids.
Well, I'm dying when Elizabeth's like, speak up. I'm like, I'm fucking trying.
So I know, because you never at a loss for words.
Jessica, what city and state are you in?
She's in
I'm in
Austin with
Austin,
me.
Texas.
Austin, Texas. Okay, cool. Cool.
I love her. Russ.
Thank you guys.
Hey, awesome, Ricky. Two things. One, first, hey, Jessica, I don't think you're losing it. I think today may be the start of something really powerful. So
Oof.
thank you. And
Thank
then
you.
this is way off. Where do we get your shirt?
If it
There's a
makes you money,
reason.
it costs me nothing.
We're,
My team makes them. We can send you some.
we have a teammate, colleague, friend named Diller Schwartz who said, I will sell my pants if it makes me money. He's
Nice.
got to have that
Thanks.
shirt.
Nice. I like it. Like that's funny, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll give you a quick story. There was a woman, we did a webinar and she really opened up. I'll also share this. Elizabeth, if anybody does want an appointment, I'll be on the like I'll help them design it if they get something. Like I'll be there. We did this once before. This woman had 4 dogs, 4 kids, husband, wife, and they all played hockey. I said, "What do you do outside of real estate?" She had a t-shirt business. So they made 8 shirts, 4 for the kids, 4 for the dogs, and then the husband that said, I love my realtor, I heart my realtor. And that was the picture they put on the site. Like that's what differentiated. It's so like just ridiculous and funny, but it was so her. And like now her site's getting traction like crazy. So it's just stuff like that. Like I would put that on a site, social media, whatever. Like that's funny. It creates something that's different. Neurochemically, they're having a different experience because it's an emotional reaction. Remember the things that we can't see that will drive the things that we can see. So my suggestion is that's funny to me, you know. And the people that judge you, screw them, whatever, you know.
They're not your people.
Yeah, not your people. Not your
Yeah.
people.
You can't be everything to everybody. Ricky, we are so over, my friend, and I appreciate you for just still pouring into everybody. We definitely want to have you come back. Yeah, so Ricky alluded to it a little bit. We are putting some brainstorming. We've been talking about this for a little bit now about putting some events together around the country. I think the first one we're going to do is in California, right, Ricky? We still need to connect on that. Yeah. We've
I
talked
have all
about
the
Park
information.
City. Hmm?
I have all the information. I
Okay.
know it's been crazy in Texas, so I didn't want to blow you up, but I'm gonna blow you up now.
Okay, yeah, we'll get blown up on that. But we're talking about California, we're talking about Park City, we're talking about Austin, we're talking about Orlando, and I love what you said, Ricky, with the schools and stuff. And we do ahas. I'm like, holy cow, we could do a whole bunch of different things in a couple days and be super impactful. So Atlanta, Jeannie's like, hello, Atlanta over here. So I mean, this is everybody all over the country. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for staying on as long as I know our time is valuable. Tag Ricky, tell him thank you because I know sometimes words aren't enough. Ricky, we adore you.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
me. I'm
Thank-
excited to collab. Thanks for sharing, Jessica. Good to see you again, Renee. Thanks so much, Elizabeth. Really appreciate you guys.
All right, y'all have an amazing weekend. We'll see you guys soon. Bye,
Thank
y'all.
you.